A good woman doesn't walk into your life with noise, demands, or conditions. She comes quietly, with softness, loyalty, and a heart that simply wants to make your world better. She supports you when you're low, believes in you when you doubt yourself, stays patient when things get difficult, and forgives mistakes you don't even realize you're making. And because she is consistent, gentle, and always there, you slowly start assuming she always will be. Not because you are a bad man, but because human nature makes us comfortable with what feels permanent. Welcome to Be Feminine. If you're new, make sure to subscribe and allow us to guide you through the deepest emotional and psychological truths about women, relationships, and love, so you never lose the woman who was meant for you. Now listen carefully. A good woman doesn't leave because she stopped loving you. She leaves because you stopped noticing her love. At first, she gives you tiny signs. She talks less, she smiles less, she stops asking for your time, she stops trying to explain how she feels. Most men misunderstand this silence. They think silence means peace, that no arguments mean everything is fine. But silence is not peace. Silence is a warning. A woman who still cares will argue, cry, question, complain, try to fix things and fight for the relationship. But when she becomes silent, she is no longer trying to save anything. When a woman stops talking about what hurts her, she has already accepted that you won't change. She has already begun detaching. The most dangerous moment in a relationship is not when she is angry. It's when she stops reacting at all. You don't lose her the day she walks out. You lose her the day she stops caring. You may not notice the nights she sat beside you wishing you would look at her instead of your phone. You may not have seen the messages she typed and deleted, hoping you'd ask how she was really doing. You may not realize how many times she swallowed her pain just to keep peace. A good woman won't beg to be treated right. She won't ask for big things. She just wants the small things that prove she matters. Your attention, your effort, your presence. But this is where many men fall. They assume her love is unbreakable. They assume she will always forgive, always stay, always wait. They do not realize that every time she is ignored, a small piece of her heart closes. Every forgotten promise, every cold response, every canceled plan, she remembers, not to use against you, but because it hurts her. Love doesn't die overnight. It dies slowly, silently, through 1,000 tiny wounds. And one day, the woman who used to care about everything stops caring about anything. She stops checking your phone because she no longer needs answers. She stops asking where you are because she no longer feels connected. She stops arguing because she no longer hopes for change. Her distance becomes quiet, calm, emotionless, and you think the relationship is stable, but her silence is not comfort. It is goodbye in slow motion. A good woman doesn't threaten to leave. She prepares to leave. She heals herself in silence. She cries less and thinks more. She focuses on her own life, her own goals, her self-respect. She stops chasing love and starts chasing peace. And once a woman learns she can live without you, there is no speech, no gift, no promise that can bring her back. Not because she hates you, but because she had to love herself again. The sad truth is that most men only realize her worth when she is no longer theirs. They wake up when she stops waiting. They panic when she stops caring. They finally want her attention when someone else is giving her the respect she begged for. That is what happens when you take a good woman for granted. You don't just lose her. You lose the version of her that loved you more than anything. And when she leaves silently with dignity and with a heart that will never look back the same way again. Most men think women leave suddenly, but a good woman leaves long before the breakup. Her body may still be there, but her heart starts walking away because of moments she can't forget. And if you pay attention, you will always notice the silent psychological signs. The first sign is emotional distance. She no longer shares her thoughts, her feelings, her daily experiences. She used to tell you everything, from the smallest detail to her biggest dream, because you were her safe place. But when she feels ignored, judged, or unimportant, she replaces you with silence, not because she has nothing to say, but because she believes you won't listen. The second sign is loss of effort. The woman who used to plan dates, check on you, remind you of important things, bring you small surprises, or make you feel supported stops trying. It's not because she's lazy or changed. She's simply tired. Tired of being the only one fighting. Tired of being consistent for someone who became comfortable. Then comes emotional shutdown. She stops arguing. She doesn't repeat herself anymore. She doesn't ask for explanations. She doesn't care where you've been, who you're with, or why you didn't call. Men misunderstand this as, she's calmer now. But it's not calmness, it's resignation. When a woman gives up on fixing things, she is already mentally packed and halfway out of your life. Another sign is self-focus. She starts doing more for herself. New hobbies, new routines, new people, new goals. She dresses better, takes care of her body, her mind, and her social life. She's not trying to impress you. She's preparing for a version of life where she doesn't depend on you anymore. She may still smile, but her smile feels different. Her voice becomes lighter, not warmer, but freer. When she starts healing alone, you are already becoming a memory. Next comes the withdrawal of intimacy. She stops initiating affection. The kisses aren't the same, the hugs feel empty, and the conversations feel like two strangers living under the same roof. She stops trying to connect because she no longer feels connected. And when a woman feels unloved, her heart builds walls one silent brick at a time. She may still care about you, but she doesn't feel safe loving you. She stops being vulnerable because vulnerability requires trust. And if she no longer trusts that you value her heart, she protects it. Another sign is when her reactions change. The things that once hurt her deeply no longer hurt, not because they are acceptable now, but because she has detached emotionally. When you stop affecting her, you are losing her. The opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. And when she reaches indifference, her heart is already gone. Then comes the most painful sign of all. She starts imagining life without you, and it doesn't scare her anymore. She feels lighter when she spends time away from you. She laughs more with other people. She sleeps better. She cries less. She becomes calmer. Not because she's happy with the relationship, but because she stopped expecting anything from it. Expectations create disappointment, but when expectations die, so does emotional attachment. And once a woman no longer expects effort, love, honesty, or attention from you, she is no longer in the relationship. She's simply waiting for the right moment to leave. Men think women leave for another man. Most don't. They leave to find peace. They leave to find themselves again. They leave because they gave so much love that there was nothing left to give. A good woman fights for the relationship until she realizes she's fighting alone. And when a woman is forced to choose between losing you and losing herself, she will always choose herself in the end. That is why a breakup with a good woman hurts the most, because she loved deeply, cared genuinely, and stayed longer than she should have. But once she's done, she's gone forever. The most painful part of losing a good woman is that realization never comes while she is still there. It comes after she is gone. At first, a man thinks her silence is just a phase. He believes she will come back, that she just needs time, that her distance isn't real. But the truth hits slowly, in small moments he never expected. It begins the day he wakes up and she is no longer the first person he wants to text. Not because he stopped caring, but because he knows she won't respond the same way. He looks at old messages, the ones filled with her love, her effort, her energy, and suddenly he feels the weight of everything he ignored. Her paragraphs that went unanswered, her goodnights left unread, her voice messages he never listened to. Those memories hit harder when he realizes she no longer sends them. Then comes the emptiness. Her absence is loud. The bed feels colder. The house feels quiet. Every routine that once annoyed him, the way she asked about his day, the way she wanted attention, the way she needed reassurance, suddenly becomes the thing he misses most. He scrolls through photos, not to remember her face, but to remember who he was when he was loved by her. A good woman changes a man's world in ways he doesn't notice until she is no longer in it. He begins to feel guilty because she never asked for much. She just wanted to feel valued, respected, chosen. He remembers moments she asked him to spend time with her, and he answered with excuses. He remembers conversations where she tried to tell him she was hurting, but he called her dramatic. He remembers nights she cried next to him quietly because she didn't want to start another fight. All those moments return like sharp pieces of regret. And regret is always louder than love. Regret is what wakes him up in the middle of the night. Regret is what keeps him scrolling through her old messages. Regret is what makes him replay every situation he once brushed off. But by the time regret arrives, she is gone. At first, he tries to fix it with words. I'm sorry. I'll change. Let's talk. I miss you. But a good woman doesn't leave because of one big mistake. She leaves because of repeated small heartbreaks that slowly destroyed her trust. That kind of damage can't be repaired with a few sweet messages. Then he tries harder. Calls, long messages, promises, desperation, late-night confessions. But she's calm now. Not angry, not emotional, just distant. And that distance is proof that she healed, because once a woman finds peace, she won't trade it for chaos again. He sees her smiling again, but it's not because of him. He hears her laugh, but it's lighter now. She dresses different. She carries herself differently. She glows in a way she never could while breaking for someone else. And that's when the truth hurts. She wasn't asking for a perfect man, just a present one. He realizes another painful truth. He didn't lose her to another person. He lost her to the man he refused to be. Now, he sees her value everywhere. Other women don't care the way she cared. Other women don't stay the way she stayed. No one loves like a woman who chooses you with her whole heart. And when a good woman leaves, she never comes back the same. She might forgive, but she will never forget. She might respond, but the warmth is gone. She might see you, but she no longer sees a future. She doesn't hate you, but she stopped choosing you. And that is what breaks a man the most. Not that she left, but that she survived without him. Because deep down, he always believed she'd stay. When he finally understands her worth, she is already gone. A good woman loves differently. Her love is not casual, not temporary, not halfway. When she chooses a man, she gives her heart, her mind, her loyalty, and her future. She plans things with him, not around him. She prays for him when he is struggling, supports him when the world is against him, and sees his potential even when he can't see it himself. That kind of love is rare. That kind of woman is rare, and that is why losing her feels like losing a part of yourself. At first, she may seem like every other woman, kind, sweet, affectionate, emotional, but you don't notice what makes her special until you stop receiving it. You don't realize how much she carried until she puts everything down and walks away. A good woman has a soft heart, but she is not weak. Her kindness is strength disguised as warmth. Her loyalty is not blind. It is a choice. She stays faithful not because she has no options, but because she chose you out of everyone she could have had. She fixes problems, she forgives mistakes, she gives second chances even when she was hurt the first time. But the same loyalty that keeps her trying is the loyalty that eventually teaches her to leave. Because a good woman never walks away out of pride. She walks away out of pain. The moment she realizes staying is destroying her self-respect, she lets go. And when she lets go, she doesn't crumble, she evolves. She starts healing. At first, healing feels like breaking. She cries. She remembers. She doubts her decisions. She wonders if she should go back. She replays moments in her mind, not because she wants you again, but because her heart is learning to live without you. But slowly, she rebuilds herself. She starts focusing on her career, her confidence, her friendships, her peace. She looks in the mirror and sees the woman she lost, trying to love someone who didn't value her. Healing turns her into someone stronger, wiser, calmer. She learns that love should not hurt more than it heals. She realizes she deserved effort, consistency, affection, and respect. She stops blaming herself for your behavior. She stops carrying guilt for the way you treated her. And the most powerful transformation happens the moment she understands this. Leaving was not losing you. It was finding herself again. She becomes harder to impress because now she knows empty promises and temporary effort mean nothing. She becomes more selective, not bitter. She speaks less and observes more. Her heart becomes wiser. When a man tries to come into her life, she doesn't fall for words. She pays attention to actions. She is not cold. She just protects what's left of her heart. And ironically, the woman who once begged for attention no longer cares who notices her. The woman who once waited for texts now replies when she feels like it. The woman who once asked for effort now expects nothing, demands nothing, and forces nothing. That is the power of a healed woman. A man who knew her before might not recognize her after. Her glow changes, her energy changes, her standards rise. She gives less chances because she learned the cost of giving too many. She no longer entertains half love, half effort, half loyalty. She knows what she brings to a relationship, and she won't let anyone make her feel like she's asking for too much just because she wanted what she was willing to give. And the sad reality is, only after she becomes this stronger version of herself do men realize the value she had from the beginning. They try to come back, thinking time healed the damage, but what healed was her belief in you. A healed woman is not the same woman who once cried for you, and the biggest shock for a man is realizing she is happier without him. Sometimes losing a good woman feels like a small breakup, but the truth is far deeper. Losing her means losing peace, comfort, loyalty, care, and a kind of love that not every man gets twice in one lifetime. A good woman doesn't love for attention, competition, or games. She loves with her heart, her effort, and her loyalty. She forgives when she's hurt, she stays when she's tired, and she keeps fighting for the relationship even when she has every reason to walk away. But every good woman has a breaking point, and once she realizes that her love is being taken for granted, something inside her changes. She becomes quieter, softer, distant. She stops asking, "Where are you?" and instead tells herself, "This is who he is." She no longer argues because she knows arguments won't fix a man who doesn't see her worth. She stops showing anger because the disappointment has already taken its place. Her heart disconnects before her body ever walks out, and by the time a man finally realizes something is wrong, she has already learned how to live without him. A good woman doesn't leave suddenly. She leaves slowly, silently, after giving every last piece of effort she had. And when she finally walks away, she walks away for good. Another man will come into her life, hold her the way she always deserved, speak to her gently, protect her heart, and value her presence every day. And that is the moment when the man who took her for granted understands his mistake. He did not lose just a woman. He lost his peace, his comfort, his loyalty, and the kind of love that may never return. Taking her for granted doesn't always look like betrayal. Sometimes it's just lack of appreciation, lack of effort, lack of respect, and lack of consistency. Because a good woman does not need perfection. She just needs effort, honesty, and consistency. If you have a woman who loves you, take care of her. If she supports you, appreciate her. If she stays, protect her. Because nothing hurts more than realizing her absence was your mistake. A good woman is rare, and when she leaves, she never comes back the same. So cherish her while she's yours. Love her not only when it's easy, but especially when it's hard, because the strongest relationships are built on effort during difficult days, not just romance on good days. And remember, the biggest pain is not heartbreak, it's regret. If this message touched you, remember, don't wait for a good woman to leave before you understand her value. Real love is rare. Protect it. This is Be Feminine. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more emotional, deep, and relationship-based wisdom. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.